Fellow Guyanese, especially residents of Region 6, 3 months after the September 1st elections, President Irfan and his cabinet have descended on Region 6 for a major puppy show. Make no mistake, this is not about love for Region 6. This is about panic that Win won so many votes in what they once considered a stronghold for them. In the last 2025 election, the PPP supposedly got 41,320 votes, 1,900 votes less than they did in the 2020 election, where they got 43,220 votes, and this is with massive rigging. Although the population in Region 6 increased dramatically from 99,132 in 2020 to 111,554 in 2025, an increase of 12,422 voters, according to the voters list. By this reasoning, their numbers had decreased drastically. Region 6 was one of the main areas where serious irregularities and rigging took place on election day. Win polling agents and supporters in that region were not allowed to operate in a free and safe environment. There were widespread reports of intimidation, threats, and harassment of Win agents, as reported by the EU Election Observation Mission. Scores of Win polling agents were gravely afraid to leave their homes on election day and didn't show up to work in the polling stations, leaving PPP agents unwatched to do as they please. Careful analysis of the SOPs in Region 6 will show serious rigging. Some of the Win agents had their vehicles damaged, some of their families were threatened, and some of them were silenced through victimization. On March 26, 2025, I visited Letterkenny in Region 6 for a community meeting. Zamal Hussein, PPP Regional Vice Chair, now MP, disrupted this peaceful visit and resorted to violence.
Video this big man, he telling the girl to slap Mr. Ramaya. Video him!
His security guard even physically assaulted a resident and supporter of Win. Today, after all of this, he was awarded an MP position in the National Assembly. On another community outreach in 43 Village Quarantine, Indira Jafar Ali, known PPP activist, who is known to be vile, aggressive, and a racist, turned up with an unruly crowd to disrupt the Win meeting and slapped a resident in an unprovoked attack.
Yes. Where you guys in?
In another one of my visits to Region 6, the PPP sank to one of the most disgraceful acts I have ever seen. They painted a donkey and paraded and chased it through the neighborhood with insulting words about me written on signs around its neck. In an incident planned by PPP minion Randy Mangro, this cruel action, which outraged animal rights activists and decent citizens across Guyana, highlights how low the PPP would stoop and shows again that it is no coincidence that these disruptions are repeatedly targeted at Indo-Guyanese communities. They would never try this in the Afro-Guyanese communities. A resident from Region 6 went on record in a widely circulated video explaining that PPP Regional Vice Chair Zamal Hussein and Ray Ali of Ashik & Sons, benefactor of the PPP, were involved in efforts to spy on and disrupt my visits to Berbice. There were so many incidents where the PPP targeted myself, Win representatives, and Win supporters in Region 6 during the campaign. Throughout the campaign, I have been repeatedly stopped and harassed by the police under direct orders from the PPP. In the most blatant case, I was detained on the side of the road with some of my candidates for hours on my way to a rally, in what was a deliberate attempt to prevent me from reaching our final rally in Region 6. The residents of Region 6 know the truth. and who really won these elections. This is also the same region where there were hundreds of people illegally transported across the border from Suriname into Skeldon on election day to vote. Is that what democracy looks like? No, after all of that, the PPP government shows up again with smiles, handshakes, and promises. But the people of Region 6 have heard these promises before. The people know that after the cameras leave and the cabinet goes back to Georgetown, nothing changes.
President Ali brought his entire cabinet to Region 6 on Thursday and Friday. One of the things that we found is that contractors who were entrusted to build these bridges, which would be widening the Quarantine Highway, and hadn't been doing anything but block the road like this for several months, all of them turned up at their locations and started working. It's Saturday, the president and his cabinet have returned, and what? The contractors have left the location again, just as it was before.
The farmers, cane cutters, and fisher folk are still struggling. The cost of living is still squeezing every household. Another thing I want the public to understand. These people are so accustomed to racial politics that what the Win Party has introduced to be able to pull significant support across all racial lines, as alluded to by the EU Observation Mission's final report, is exactly what threatens them. The PPP feels as though they own the Indian people of this country. I am Indian. Because of that, the PPP feels threatened and deliberately send people to disrupt Win meetings in the Indian communities. They are panic-stricken by the support I receive from the Indian communities. They have used race to divide the people of this country for so long and have used the Indian people for votes against the PNC. And they cannot do that with me because I represent everyone. The truth is, like struggling Afro and indigenous Guyanese, many of the Indian people are enduring hardships and struggling too. They are tired of living a hard life, while a few at the top get rich. They are tired of being used for votes and then discarded and forgotten. The PPP knows that Win has the support of all people, and that is why in the lead up to and after the elections, they started targeting popular people in Region 6 who have large followings on Facebook and TikTok and who they believe were close to me. Some were pressured, some were promised contracts, some were told to distance themselves from me. Today, many of those people are upset and disappointed because those promises never came. They were used and then abandoned, just like the people of Region 6 have been used and abandoned for years. So I want to tell the public, and especially the residents of Region 6, to remain vigilant and not be misled by the PPP's tactics that are designed to create fear and confusion. I, Azruddin Mohamed, will fight for the people. I will hold the government accountable every step of the way. And I will remain committed that all Guyanese get a better quality of life.